Make sure that's good, good. How's everyone doing? Oh, this isn't YouTube. I'm actually here. You can interact with me. How are you? You well? Good. I'm actually really excited to be here. When I got the call to potentially come and speak at BookNet, I got really excited. For one reason, I'm just a voracious book reader. I have this game I play with myself. It's called that didn't sound good. It's called 52, and what I try and do is read a book every week. So I read 52 books a year, which I think is like 52 times what the average Canadian reads or something like that. I'm not sure. And beyond that, obviously publishing a book, which was really interesting because my background was in journalism. I started in journalism, actually professional journalism, actually being paid to write when I was about 17. So it was really interesting having this thing in your head from the mid-'80s all the way through that you're going to write this book and then have a parallel career purely in digital marketing. And to see those two worlds come collide and working with a literary agent in the US and Hachette Grand Central and seeing how, wow, there is a lot of room for change in this industry. And as much as there's, I believe, an embracing of it, I don't think the change has been rapid enough. And so when I had the opportunity, I really jumped at it because I think there's so many things happening right now that are so huge and important to you. And you know, in the longer introductions, which I'm thankful you didn't do because it becomes embarrassing to stand there and have people say things about you like that. People sometimes call me a futurist or a technologist, which is funny because I don't really program code or anything. And a futurist is always like a funny term, as if we can see the future, and we can. So what I tell people is, I'm not a futurist. I'm actually a presentist. And the reason is because the shifts in media and marketing and communications have so fundamentally shifted in the past, I would say decade for sure, but half decade at such a rate that brands and companies have really not been present in that conversation. And as advanced as the publishing industry has been, I think there's a huge room for expansion, in particular when it comes to consumers and what's happening. And so what I thought I'd do is spend my time with you today really talking about commerce. What do consumers do? I think you're going to hear a lot of people tell you what you should do, how you should market, how you should do things, but what are consumers really doing? Or maybe not what they're really doing at a majority, what are the more advanced consumers doing, which is a fairly good indication of where it's going. And I always say the publishing industry is actually really lucky. You're really lucky because I spent 15 years in the music industry. So you actually have a really good case study of what not to do. And I believe it to be a huge opportunity for you as well. So what I'm going to do is give you a sort of very baseline story of what a new consumer looks like. This is a new consumer. This is Sam Decker. Sam was the chief marketing officer at a company called Bazaar Voice. You might know the company Bazaar Voice. Probably know this. Do you believe this to be true, that 75 to 80% of people who shop online actually read customer reviews? And in your industry, it's probably way higher. In fact, I would argue that you could probably scratch the online. That my guess is that when someone hears about a book, they definitely go online and see what the reviews are, specifically from their peers. And why do brands not do this? Why do publishers not have all the reviews also on their sites? And the answer is fear. You're worried somebody will say something bad about the book. You can't control the message. So Sam Decker from Bazaar Voice, they do this third-party auditing of customer reviews. And they've served to date about 150 billion customer reviews, impressions of them. So they're pretty much the 800-pound gorilla in that industry. A couple things have come out of their research. So 150 million impressions, it's good market size, right? What they've learned is that the average product gets a 4.3 out of 5. So basically, so long as you put this stuff online and allow people to rate it, you'll do pretty well. And there's a star caveat, and the star caveat is your product can't suck. Okay? Because we live in this new world where it's fairly transparent, if you have a very crappy product, you will be hurt very, very badly in this online world. And so you have to have a quality product. But the most interesting research that came out of this customer reviews is this next point. A negative review converts more effectively to a sale than a positive review. Now, isn't that fascinating? But think about your world for a second, and it makes perfect sense, right?